Hello, my name is Heather Clemens. I am the marketing consultant for the United Way of the Mark Twain area. The United Way Evening of Philanthropy is May 9th. It began in 2019 with the goal to honor community members who invest their time and talents in making our community better. The Evening of Philanthropy shares the stories of generous people who we hope inspire others. This podcast will feature interviews with the honorees who will be highlighted at this year's event. And so today we have Michael and Whitney Holliday, our philanthropic couple for 2025. Michael and Whitney embody the mission and vision of United Way and how they spend their time and talents in their community. Michael is an attorney with Curl, Hark, and Holliday LLC. He's been active on many local boards in the Hannibal area, and for 15 years, he served as a school board member for the Hannibal Public Schools. Whitney is the director of Parents as Teachers in the Hannibal community. Aside from parent educators who go into homes, PAT also offers a parenting class at the local children's division, as well as the women's prison in Vandalia. Both of them have chaired the Salvation Army Christmas campaign in the past and were founding board members of a local nonprofit Downcountry. And I know that both of you are involved in so many more organizations than what I just mentioned there. So let's get into it with the first question.
All right.
So can you tell me a little bit about what agencies and organizations you both currently serve with?
All right. Current agencies I'm a part of. I'm blessed to be on the Hannibal Regional Healthcare System Board currently. Still on the Hannibal Area Chamber of Commerce Board. Had the opportunity to serve as chamber president many, many years ago, and Mackenzie Disselhorst can't get rid of me. So I'm still on that, and on the Legal Services of Eastern Missouri Board currently. But throughout the years, there's been many, many others I've been blessed to be a part of. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, and still doing the youth coaching on the side with our children, and blessed to be able to still do that. So,
And that takes a lot of time just in itself, I'm sure.
Takes a lot of time. I've been fortunate to do that for many years, and sadly I see the end in sight with the kids getting older, and that'll be interesting to not have a baseball field or basketball court to go to someday. So,
Yeah. It's always fun to watch him coach our boys. So, yep, that's great. I have the awesome opportunity to serve on Hayes, the Hannibal Alliance for Youth Success. And for the past several years, I've helped facilitate the Buddy Backpack program in our community. And I use the word facilitate because it really does take our entire community to make that happen. So the Buddy Backpack program delivers weekend-friendly kid options to about 400 students in our community twice a month, from October to May. Also, Parents as Teachers. I'm on the Missouri Parents as Teachers board for our region. And so I have some meetings and things to attend for that and help with our policy and shape Parents as Teachers program statewide.
And Parents as Teachers is so important.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all know, too, just getting someone in your house early
Yes,
when your children are so young is really important.
because the parent is truly the first and best teacher.
Right. Yes,
And
definitely.
it's such a privilege to be able to go into families' homes and celebrate with them and offer additional resources that we can as their child grows, and really be their first partner and their first teacher as they enter Hannibal Public Schools. We really are we like to refer ourselves as like a coach. We're a good listener because, there's not a handbook for parenting.
No, there is not.
And we have an amazing research-based curriculum, and we can offer many resources to families and be that cheerleader as they enter Hannibal Public Schools as a kindergarten student.
Yeah, it's so important. So community involvement means different things to different people. What does community involvement mean to both of you?
Oh boy, that's a big question.
It is a big question.
Yeah.
I just think it's doing what you should do in order to, be a good citizen, to give back to your community. If you see a need, you see a way you can help in a small way, in a big way, doing the most you can with every day you're given.
Yeah, community involvement. I mean, when I moved back here, 2003, I loved my hometown. I loved Hannibal. I loved growing up here. Everybody has different experiences, but I couldn't wait to get back here. And one thing that I knew, and I think Whitney feels the same way, is let's not complain about our community unless we're going to be willing to be active in changing it.
Right.
And I think nowadays, when everybody's hopping on a smartphone to have a comment about something, we have forgotten that that doesn't change our community if you're wanting to better it. And so I've always felt like instead of me sitting on the sidelines, complaining about something, which is very easy to do, let me go try to make an effort to make it better. And that's what I've always wanted to strive to do since I've been back to Hannibal. And, I can't say I've always maybe done the greatest job, but I sure have tried. And so community involvement to me is, if you want to see something change, you want to make something better, put your foot forward and be the first one to try to do it. So
Right. Yep. And it's super important to actually get involved and do those things. Right. So people can choose to do anything with their time and talents. People may choose very different ways to give back to their communities. So what is your why as to the causes that you both support?
Okay.
Well, Michael and I both we've lived here as children. We went away for college. We've come back here. We truly do believe Hannibal is a great place to visit, but an even better place to live. But we're part of that, right? Every day we're part of that. And so giving our time and our talents and to causes that we see a need. I started in Buddy Backpacks. Well, I've taught backwards life of a child. So in high school, when that became an idea that there was a need for children to have food on the weekends, it used to be a partnership between the food bank of Central Missouri. And so when we looked to maybe doing that a more cost-effective way, which started as drives. We had these drives. And as a high school teacher, our students weren't getting the food yet, but we had drives in my classroom to sponsor that, to help elementary school students get that food. And so, there was a need back then. If you see the need, find a way and just continue to do that. And so I've seen that this program specifically look many different ways since 2008 when it came to Hannibal. But I'm proud to just be a small part of that and to help in any way that I can.
Yeah. When it comes to what the why is on trying to better your community or get involved in your community, I think everybody brings a different trait. Not everybody is going to go serve on the local school board. Not everybody is going to go be on a hospital board. Not everybody may want to go work with the Buddy Backpack program, but you have to find what works for you. But the one thing that everybody can do is something. And so the why for me, I was blessed. And so was Whitney. We grew up with amazing parents. I grew up with a very Christian values system of doing whatever you can to help others. And I know Whitney's parents instilled that in her as well. So we were fortunate, for sure. But the why on doing it is you got to find the trait that works for you. For me, I felt like when I got back here, it was pretty quick that I wanted to try to not only get involved in our church, which we still do today at Arch United Methodist, but I wanted to get on the school board. I wanted to make a difference that way. Not because I had an agenda, but because my goal was, how can we help kids? How can we help students? And it's transcended into different things, but everybody needs to find their why. Everybody's why can be different.
Right. Well, kind of going into that same kind of category of finding your why, what does generosity mean to each of you?
Oh, wow.
It's kind of a big word.
Yeah.
It means different things to different people.
I think generosity, in my opinion, can be much more than donations, financial. Generosity can be as simple as, hey, I see that maybe it looks like you're having a bad day. Let me just lend an ear. Let me be generous with my time. Let me be generous with my patience. I think generosity can be much more than just what can we financially give to somebody. I think generosity can be, hey, it looks like you're having a rough day, so let's talk about it. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that 100%. In the roles that we are fortunate enough to get to have every day, a lot of it is listening and helping to troubleshoot if that's what the person is wanting, or if you're posed with a problem or posed with a situation, how can we make a list of options? And that is a great example of sharing your time, sharing your ear. and time looks different a lot of ways. I mean, it can be when a Sam's delivery, your wife made the mistake of delivering to your house and not Douglas Community Services, has to then get delivered to Douglas Community Services on the coldest day in January. You say, sure, Whitney, sure, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, just what we wanted to do. Yeah,
You know, it can be a lot of different things, and it can be time on a sideline like Michael's done for years with youth sports, and because the youth in our community are our future.
Yes,
they're going to be our residents.
Yeah,
and
they are.
When they see adults who pour and care about them, pour into them and care about them, they're going to want to model that in their future.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So at United Way, it's our mission to increase the capacity of people to care for one another, to create a more caring community. So if everyone did step up and provided support and truly cared about others in the community, what do you think that community could look like?
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just it would be the best place ever. Can you imagine if if everyone in our community woke up and thought, how can I make this day better for someone else?
Exactly.
And really, shouldn't that be what every one of us does when we wake
Yes.
up?
Yeah.
How can I make today great?
Right.
For
Right.
all those I encounter and for all those that I interact with, and maybe those I don't even interact with that may just see me, you know, that may
Right.
And I think it boils down to how can, and we can all do a better job of this, but how can I impact someone each day?
Right.
And how can I take that time away from my smartphone of looking at what's going on out there and not getting the true depiction of what my community looks like.
Right. Right.
But even if it is just like running into someone and just saying, "Hey, it's great to see you," impact your community every day somehow.
Right.
Whether it's impacting one person or many.
Right. Right. So who inspires you?
Person sitting next to me.
Aww.
No, I mean seriously.
That's that's great.
People tell me all the time, is she really always this happy and positive? and she is. What you see here today, what you see at the Early Childhood Center is what you're going to see in our home. And that inspires me because I am the cynical one. There is no doubt about that. And
we're a good balance.
we are.
We're a good
You are
balance.
definitely the yin to my yang. There's no doubt about that because, she inspires me to want to do better every day, and I sincerely mean that. And besides that, as I kind of touched upon, I was blessed when I came into this world with two amazing parents, with Dean and Frances Holliday, and I couldn't. I've been very blessed. Let's just put it that way. So,
Yeah, I would agree. I often wonder about Michael and like, how does he really do all the things he does in one day and like still not be 100% exhausted when he walks through the door, like, and have time for all of us in the evenings, whether that's at a field or a court or just home together as a family. Like, he always has it. He never says, "Oh, I don't know." And just, and I know, being in the community, others say, "Oh, your husband really helped me today." And he may not even have known it. Like, he's just so kind and so generous. And that every day, just, I'm 100% blown away. And I'm so thankful that, we get to spend our life together. And my parents, Dan and Judy, I mean, they're servants. Like, they taught me how to work hard and how to give back. And, I just am really blessed by that too. My whole, my family, we have great family support.
yeah, we really do.
We really do. Like, I can't wait for Easter. We're going to have a great Easter Sundays around the table together. And just our family lifts us up, supports us, cheers for us. And that's so amazing and so just allows us to be the people that we are today.
Right. Because it sets a foundation.
It sets a foundation, and I think I've always been cognizant of trying to remember, you can sit here and say how lucky and fortunate you've been, and we have. Other people haven't.
Right.
You don't get to choose what environment you grow up in.
Right.
And I try to use that in my professional life and my personal life when I'm trying to discuss things with people. I don't know their walk of life and what they've been through, but so I try to always be cognizant of that and be respectful of. I was fortunate. Other people may not have been as fortunate as I was, and try to get that generosity out of them and realize with them, help somebody else to realize there is a better world if they need to be out there. And that's one of the things I've always loved with youth coaching as well, is you get to try to make an impact on somebody when they're a very young age. And you asked who have been our influences. This community has so many great influences. I know you've been influenced by many. And I even walk down the hall and I see pictures of Dr. and Mrs. Burt. I mean, what a true depiction of generosity.
Yeah.
Or, Pat and Connie Benson, people like that in our community. I mean, you don't have to look very far to find good role models in our community.
Right. Well, going into that, to role models and people getting involved in their community, difference makers are always needed in our communities for sure. What do you hope the next generation learns about being community minded?
I hope that we're showing, or we're illustrating our daily walk is allowing others to see that, giving back, that just daily things that make people's day better. If our kids see that or my little friends at early childhood, when we walk them out to their car and we ask them about their day, if they remember that kind voice and that kind ear, or that person that would listen to them and help them at school during their day, that's what I hope that we're living and we're doing, and we're helping the future understand about service.
So here's where she's a lot more positive, and here's the cynic in me. I really worry about our generations of how much are we way too focused on what we are seeing on social media, things like that. And I worry about that for our own children. I worry about that for generations to come, because we really need to remember that you do not know someone and really by what you see on social media.
Right.
You need to get out of your comfort zone and actually have a conversation with someone,
Right.
speak with someone. And that's where I think giving and generosity and volunteerism can really help our generation. And we need to instill that in our children that are coming up, because I feel like even though this phone or this computer can give us access to the entire world, in a lot of ways it can constrain us to where we're not branching out.
Right.
And so I hope we're trying to instill that with our two boys, that there is a lot more to give to your community than just what you're going to scroll through on a smartphone.
Right.
So that's what I hope we can, listen, Whitney said it, and you know it as well. There's no textbook for parenting.
No,
but
there's not.
But if anything, I would try to do, and I try to do it every day, is make sure that, whether it's your own children or any young group that you're part of, make sure they're branching out to instill volunteerism face to face. So
yeah, the face-to-face component is very important.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
For sure. So thank you guys so much for your time today.
Yeah.
You have been wonderful guests
Well,
to
awesome.
talk to.
Awesome.
Are there any other thoughts that you have? Do you want any parting wisdom or if someone wants to get involved in, let's say, Hayes, how would they do that?
Sure. Well, you could check out the Facebook page.
Okay.
We do have quarterly meetings, and we'd always love members to come to that. So check out the Facebook page for those details. That's the Hannibal Alliance for Youth Success. And if you're ever catch a good deal on peanut butter, we always look for peanut butter donations, because that is the one
For the
thing
buddy packs.
we put in a buddy
Yeah.
pack that we don't
Yeah.
purchase. That's completely fundraised.
I guess parting shot would just be, everybody has their own comfort zone, but getting out and volunteering can mean you don't have to be serving on a school board or a hospital board. Go out and just serve at Loaves and Fishes. Do something like that. Just get out in your community and take one small step. Some people aren't comfortable being in front of a lot of people. Well, there's some of the most generous people we have in this community are probably people we would not even know of, because
Right.
they want to remain anonymous.
That's right.
And those are the people that I know of and have the most profound respect for. I think I can speak for Whitney and I. We're both humbled to have been recognized, but there's multiple people in this community that should be recognized well before her and I are.
For sure.
But we're just blessed to be here. We're humbled to have been recognized by the United Way, such a wonderful foundation. And just thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.